Flame on! How's everybody doing tonight? I'm here with my special guest, Taladia Plays. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, everyone?
As in case you're just now joining us, due to a scheduling conflict, we had to push the Daima reaction episode 2 back a week, so we're going to react to both 2 and 3 today.
Back to back.
Taladia, any expectations or final or thoughts before we get started?
No, let's just do it.
All right, all right. I've already got the episode pulled up on my end. How about you?
I'm ready to go. In
All right.
3, 2, 1, play. Okay, Tevia. I'm doing good.
We're starting on Dragon Ball Daima episode 2, and we're going to do 2 and 3 back to back. Tevia, how you doing? You keep telling yourself that, Krillin. You haven't changed a bit.
Yeah, you haven't changed a bit. From the demon realm?
Oh, I'm glad they didn't make this into a whole episode where Kibito's on a
Yeah.
fetch 10 minutes.
Yeah, at least Kibito's part of this, so
I mean, I get it, but it kind of, you know what? Let's save that for the review portion.
yeah.
This has no reason being as funny as it is. All right, are you at the commercial break yet, Talati? Or are you a bit past that?
I'm past that. I'm past where Goku's talking with Vegeta and Kabito and Supreme Kai.
Oh, okay.
Bulma's on the lookout. Hey, what's up, Cameron? Okay, so it's 2 days later. That's where I'm at. How do you feel about Vegeta's voice acting?
It's not bad. I just didn't expect it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure this is a different actor than the one who played Kid Vegeta in the Bardock special.
Yeah.
I just would have brought him back. In all honesty,
Kabito, the delivery boy.
Poor Kibito, you might as well just pay him at this point. I know he doesn't need Zenny, but the gesture would be nice.
No, I don't think they have telepathy. Not your errand boy. So do you mind if we stop after stop after the first episode? All right. He's just finished. Jay, yo, what's up? No, Jay, Jay, are you there? Guys, I don't know where he's gone. Jay Heat, have you fallen asleep?
No, I'm here. I still have another minute left in the episode, but I guess
Oh,
we can
okay.
go ahead. Yeah, but I
Wait,
guess we can go ahead.
can I quickly go wash my hands real quick and then come back?
Sure, go ahead.
You can have a discussion with everyone while I'm gone.
Sure. While we're waiting on Taladia to get back, as for episode 2, it does directly follow up. I wasn't expecting. What's the best way I could say this? Daima, it's an anniversary series. So ended up back to basics approach with like early Dragon Ball and the franchise as a whole. So I'm not too mad at it for being an anniversary series. I'm not mad about it, at least in that aspect, but I feel like the story itself is a little weak. Yeah, the adventure is there, but the story and villain with Goma, it feels weak. Granted, I have watched ahead based off the main sub, so I'm not going to give spoilers here, but at least from what I've seen, it feels like the adventure's there, but a weak story overall. But again, it's an anniversary series. It's not an overarching narrative, and even then, this is Dragon Ball. It's as simplistic as they come. But I'm not too mad at that. As for that, outside of that, I give Daima a 7 out of 10. Not as good as episode 1 because really with episode 1, most of its gripes was just the fact that the Boo Saga recap, even with the new animation, took up half the episode when really it shouldn't take no more than 10 minutes. As for episode 2, it is straight to the point, but it does kind of slog towards the second half between the callbacks with the power pole, with Goku getting the power pole, which does feel like a necessity given Goku's been de-aged. But I feel like this episode would have been structured better if you cut about 5 minutes out of it. And then we could have gotten some early scenes leading into episode 3. But again, that's just how I would have done. As for Naji, I am doing well. How are you doing? And yeah, Kid Vegeta's voice does work for what it is. I just prefer the previous actor who did Kid Vegeta in the Bardock special. I just prefer that performance more. But again, it's a completely different story and performance. As for Goten and Trunks having telepathy, I think it's because they're babies and they can't really communicate any other way. I think there's just a one-off gag and they're not going to have any more of a role until like the very last episode of Daima when all said and done.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
but yeah,
let's talk about the episode.
Yeah, I already said the majority of my thoughts, so I'll let you go first.
I really thought this episode was interesting. Obviously, I wasn't expecting them to talk Baby Trunks, Baby Goten, right?
Right.
But I thought that was interesting. Now, I'm not a big fan of Vegeta's voice. I'm not going to lie to you there.
Yeah, I wanted to say something earlier, but I said let's save it for the review portion because I'm sorry, but I get this is a more comedic type story and this is an anniversary series. I understand all that. But you can't tell me this is the same as Kid Vegeta from the Bardock special. You cannot tell me this is the same mannerisms.
No, it isn't.
It's just not. It's just not. I mean, Vegeta's not throwing quips or wisecracks or anything, but it's still grating. It's a little jarring, if I'm being honest.
But what would you have to rate this episode?
I'd give it a 7. It's only slightly lower than 8, and here's why I say that. At least with episode 1, its biggest folly was at for the animation for the Boo Saga recap. That took up like half the episode from a structure standpoint, and that's like episode 1's biggest fall. This one here is that it slows to a crawl and then picks up barely when Glorio lands towards the end. It just feels bloated. at least from a pacing standpoint. I feel like that's Daima's biggest problem overall is pacing.
Yeah. So okay. Joey, what should I give this week? This week's episode 2, I think it's 6.5.
What? Why
That's
would
my
you give it a six? Why would you give it a 6.5?
because I just didn't like the Vegeta voice. I think that was really off-putting for me.
Yeah,
And
I took points off for that as well. Anything
I
else?
took that. I would also say the whole, it felt really, really short. And the whole Kobito being the servant type of character in this, that was just like,
Yeah, being the errand boy. And I'm just like, I get the gag, and I'm glad the writer showed some kind of restraint because in like when we were coming up, when we were watching anime in the early 2000s, like the 2000s, 2010, this type of gag would take up an entire episode. But hey, this is a 20 episode limited series. We don't have time for that.
yeah. So
But
that's why,
but norm yeah, but normally this gag would take up a whole episode. I hate to cut you off, Taladia.
yeah. By the way, Naji says hello and welcome, Naji.
Yeah, we're. I
Uh,
thought I answered your question before, but we're doing good, Taladia. How you doing?
I'm good, good. Did you call Naji Taladia? Hey, do we have another comic league moment here, guys? Somebody please
Please
click
send me the
that.
clip because I'm pretty sure I said Nachi. But hey, if I slip there, just send me the clip. Send me the time tag. But
Timestamp is 30 minutes. Anyway, shall we
uh
get into the next episode?
yeah, all right. Any final thoughts on episode 2?
No, that's pretty much it. That's what I gotta say.
Same. All right, let's move on.
All right, in 3, 2, 1, play. Toei animation. Yeah, please let us know what your favorite moment about Dragon Ball Daima so far. Whoa. Oh, it's a big fish. I called it.
A sack that smiles back, goldfish. I regret nothing.
What? He changed his ear. Goku's out of it. Did he just poop it out? Look. Demon Rama.
Say what you will about this being an anniversary series, but this animation, the art direction animation is pretty smooth for the most part.
It's spot on. It is spot on. Uh, of monsters. I love how they do like the Dragon Ball Z like type of breaks.
Yeah, the transition scenes are pretty good.
Sneak out a fart. Goku farted.
I think I remember seeing this scene in promotional material, if
Yes,
not the
yes.
movie when it was in theaters.
No, no, this was in the promotional.
Yeah, because the movie was the first 3 episodes, maybe four if I remember correctly.
So far, this is the strongest episode. Love action. Ha, Goku. They stole it. All right. That's episode 3. How long have you got left on yours?
How far are you left in the episode, Claudia?
I'm done.
Okay. Now, this one was a relative improvement. Episode 2 did run a bit slow. I'm actually glad we ended up pushing this back, looking back, because I would have hated to wait a whole week after a dud episode 2 was. I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying it was meh. That's all I'm saying about episode 2. But episode 3, I mean, there was action. There was action. We entered the demon realm proper. It did what and we even learned more lore about the warp and actually entering the demon realm and stuff that'll be set up later over the course of the series. So, episode 3 was a pretty standard exposition episode. I'm not going to fault it for that. Some of You actually could have put some of it in episode 2 if you restructured some things and trimmed the fat, but that's just my personal bias talking.
Yeah.
Taladia, what do you think?
I think this is the best episode to date.
Definitely the best.
Go on.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you go first.
Oh, I was just agreeing with you. Definitely the best out of the 3 so far.
Yeah, best episode out of the 3 so far, and it's definitely up there when I compare it to when I compare it to the first 2 episodes. Plus, on top of that, Goku trying to learn, balancing, and the action is just brilliant. The artwork is done really well, and I gotta say, this is what I'm excited about.
Same. I mean, this definitely has me invested. But man, sorry, I had a busy day at work. That's why I'm not as energetic as I usually am.
Yeah.
But what would you rate this one out of 10?
If I had to give this one out of 10, a solid 9.
Agreed.
About a
What
solid 9.
what would you say is the one thing holding this episode back from a 10?
Just the whole. I would say. I wouldn't say the action, the
No,
story, the storytelling.
that's a fair point because it feels like we could be moving along a lot faster. Like, yes,
Yeah,
we're factoring, yeah, a lot of like Goku, Vegeta, and Piccolo. They're de-aged. Like, it kind of gives you early Black Star Dragon Ball art vibes, where a lot of that art structurally was dragged out because the characters are so strong that they could literally like blitz through this in like a couple of days.
how many
So
episodes did you say this was?
20 for the full series, and sub is all just released at episode 15 a few days ago.
Episode 15. Okay, so
So
yeah, okay,
so yeah, this is all. I was going to say this till late in the series, but I might as well wrap it up now. This is not a simul dub. They're releasing one after the other. Like it's kind of like multi-release, but the dub is so far behind the anime. I guess it'll drag them into. It'll allow Crunchyroll to ride until the I'm not until the mid spring, late spring, early summer anime season. By the time Daima finishes the dub for Daima, but this was just a bad marketing decision. You already had momentum. You already had people
yeah.
paying their respects from Toriyama's passing. Just do the simul dub, and then we could have just been on our way.
I'll be honest with you. I gotta be honest with you. I agree with you there, but I also think that I think the way that they're handling this is like doing 1 week after the other. So 1 week we're getting a dub, the other week we're getting sub. Like it's kind of dragging it out, kind of type of thing. And I'm not thinking you guys are gonna fall behind big time for the West, right?
Yes, because if you're not keeping up for the sub, you're at least a good 2-3 months behind.
Exactly.
At
But
least 2 to 3 months.
at least with the sub, there's longer episodes. With the dub, there's shorter episodes.
To my knowledge, the sub was given 20, not even a full anime season on syndication. Depending on how the dub structured things with their dub, they might settle for 18, or you might get the full 20. It just depends how direct of an adaptation the
Is that
dub team.
the dub is about 18 minutes.
The dub is about 18 minutes,
Yeah.
not counting credits. So yeah, the dub might structure it to where it might end up finishing with 18 episodes instead of 20, depending on how it's structured. But yeah, all in all, these are definitely the best out of the three for the dub so far. And I just would have handled things differently, at least in that regard. But please don't try to bash this series like, oh, it's so bad and the power scaling. Like, no, we're not here for that. If you want to bash Super and GT, that's fine. But this is an anniversary series for 40 years of the franchise, and Toriyama tragically passed like almost a year ago. Like by the time Daima wraps up, it will lead up to the 1 year anniversary after Toriyama's passing. You don't have to like the show, but just try not to badmouth it too much on social media. Just pay your respects, watch about as much as you want to watch, just pay your respects. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
Yeah.
As for Dragon Ball content in the future, we don't know what's going on. We know Torotoro is going to do his one shot on how Goten and Trunks get inspired by Clean God and their superhero personas leading up to Dragon Ball Super Superhero. But other than that, we don't have any, at least through my sources, we don't have any long term or anything regarding the Dragon Ball
The
Super
only th-
manga.
the only thing we're going to be getting Dragon Ball related now is through video games.
Exactly, like Sparking Zero and Daima DLC. I don't
Yeah.
see if they have gone to the hashed out details with with Toritaro and the Toriyama estate. We won't see any. We won't even get an announcement till Jump Festa 2025 at the absolute earliest. And that's me being optimistic.
But it's like I said, JH, if anything, like if you want anything Dragon Ball related, I think just focus on the video game side of it. Like we've got superhero content on Sparking Zero. We'll be getting Dragon Ball Daima content for Kakarot. We'll be getting there will be some content in regards to Xenoverse 2 coming out pretty soon as well.
Wait,
So
Xenoverse is still getting DLC.
yeah,
They might as well just make Xenoverse 3 at this point.
bro, they're still making Xenoverse 2 content. I'm not joking.
But but yeah, that's just my opinion on it. I just would have marketed Daima's release differently rather than trying to just rather than double dipping, trying to drag out the dub.
You know what I
But
would have done? You know what I would have done differently?
go ahead, go ahead.
I would have done it for the 1 year anniversary of Toriyama's death. Do like an anniversary type of thing. So on his death, you release the Daima stuff.
You release the Daima dub all in one go that day or the day after, depending on time zone difference.
Yeah.
That would have been a more tactful way to go about it.
Or at least the first 5 episodes. You do 5 episodes at a time.
Okay, that's fair. You drop them off in chunks, like you get the first 5, and then the latter half. Because depending on how the episodes are, the footage is actually structured, we know Daima's sub, the Japanese, the sub is going to be 20 episodes. We all know that. But depending on how the dub cut it, it could stretch all the way to 20, or it could be shrunken down all the way down to 18.
Yeah.
It just depends.
But I gotta say though, Jay, it's like when I take a look at Daima right now, the amount of episodes there are. So currently the sub has got 15 episodes, right?
Right.
So we've only got 5 weeks left.
Right.
For us, it's like 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, 11 weeks, 12 weeks. About 15 weeks. About 15, 16 weeks before we finish up on Daima.
Give or take. And that's roughly, depending on how many weeks there are in each month, that's roughly a 3 to 4 month gap, give or take.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're definitely going to ride. Crunchyroll is definitely going to ride Daima out all the way into Q2, maybe Q3 of 2025. By the time the dub wraps up,
But
late
I think
go ahead. Late quarter 2, early quarter 3 at the latest.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I also think Daima, the way they're handling it, is a lot better than I thought it would. You know, in terms of not marketing strategy, but more along the lines of them saying, look, it's each week you get an episode and it's between 18 to 20 minutes long. And the fact is, some episodes will be action, some of them it won't be. But at least in this episode, there was no goddamn Vegeta voice acting, which was fun, which was good.
Yeah, I'm gonna warn you right now. Vegeta, I'm not gonna spoil. I'm just gonna mention this. Vegeta and the gang do catch up shortly after, and there's a lot of Kid Vegeta dialogue when we get to that portion. And based on what I've heard from the dub, it is not going to be a good experience. At least the sub voice was bearable, but the dub it's grating. The dub is just very grating. And the reason I say that is because what's the word? Talati, help me out here. What's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't feel like Vegeta. It feels like
a ripoff. It feels like it feels like an abridged Dragon Ball abridged.
But not Team 4-Star, just a very lackluster abridged. Like they're going for the most cringy dialogue possible.
Exactly.
I mean, it's kind of fun. I mean, I guess it depends on delivery, but Vegeta's performance was just very stale in episode 2. Maybe by the time the latter half of the crew gets to the Demon Realm, Vegeta's performance will be a lot better acting wise. But so far, if I had to compare the two versions, I prefer Kid Vegeta's sub actor compared to Kid Vegeta's dub actor for Daima. I'm sorry, it's just less grating for me. What do you think, Taladia?
Yeah, I agree with you. So, but yeah, only time will tell for the future. Yeah. But we'll see how the season goes. All right.
Yeah, I think that's fair. But any final thoughts any final thoughts? Anything you want to promote before we go to Ladia?
Yeah, so I want to say this right now. There won't be a Snyder Fans Read Comics this week, unfortunately. Jared DM'd me and it was like, okay, I won't be able to do Snyder Fans Read Comics. So I'm giving you guys a heads up on JH's channel. So instead, I'm thinking about doing a Dragon Ball Sparking Zero stream on Twitch. So if Jay Heat wants to join me for that, he can. We can hop in a Discord call and he and I can chill while we play some Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. And we can have a conversation about the characters and the power levels and everything.
Yeah,
Now that'd be
I'd be down for that.
I think
Just
that'd be very interesting for because I'll do that on Twitch for Dragon Ball content, and I might even do some Hogwarts Legacy. I haven't decided yet. I also will be doing some Sparking Zero, not Sparking Zero. I'll also be doing some Marvel Rivals. I don't know when, but I'll be doing it either this week or next week. I haven't decided yet, but I won't be around over the weekend, so don't expect any content over the weekend. So I'm going to mention that.
good looking out. As for me, you can find me on jheatblaze or jheat75 on Twitter or X. Please stay tuned on my Mass Effect Andromeda. I heard some rumors about BioWare and Mass Effect 4, the new Mass Effect installment.
There is one thing I forgot to mention.
Oh, go ahead, Talai. Go ahead.
Superman is heading to Fortnite.
Wait, didn't he already have a skin back in season 2?
Yes, but this is for the movie.
Okay, the corn sweat skin. Okay.
Yeah, so it's been rumored that Superman, Red Hulk, Sam Wilson, Captain America are all coming to Fortnite.
I am honestly surprised Fortnite has lasted this long. Overwatch has fallen off. Apex Legends fell off.
Now I'm gonna pay money just to get that skin.
I mean, you got to. I mean, you're a de facto Superman fan. You got to.
Yeah.
But yeah. As for me, I heard some rumors about Massive. I had a blast playing for the Legendary Edition, and then hey, I might as well give Andromeda a chance. I heard it was based on what I've played so far with Andromeda. If you paid attention to my videos, it's not bad. It's just it was the best out of a bad situation. Between the overarching trilogy of the Reapers, you weren't going to please everyone. And Andromeda did too much too quickly. With a lot of games and mechanics and side quests they put in that game, Andromeda could have been a trilogy in of itself. That's all I'll say on that. But again, maybe if we do get a new Mass Effect, God forbid, it's another Dragon Age Veilguard, because I've actually pushed back on Dragon Age Origins because of how bad Veilguard was received. I'll start playing Dragon Age Origins again eventually. Sorry, that's just a blow to my childhood. I just got a stomach for the cringe. I'm sorry. I just got to. So if you're looking forward to Dragon Age, just be patient with me. I have to process. But banter aside, thank you all so much for watching. Talati, anything else you want to say before we wrap up?
Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week for some more Dragon Ball Daima.
Peace. Whoa!